Hey, sports fans, PBZ Sports Chaos. And it's March Madness. By the way, it's March Madness, but PB's on his way to the Florida Derby today, a precursor to the Kentucky Derby, right? What were you telling me?
Absolutely. Eh,
21 winners have won the Kentucky Derby, something like that?
Yeah, there's some number. Yeah, it's around there. So it's obviously the race has been going on for many many years, but it's kind of like a precursor to the Kentucky Derby, and the winner of this race will for sure run in the Kentucky Derby in 5 weeks. And obviously, I'll be rooting for that horse because I'll have seen him live. So I can't wait to check this out. It's gonna be my first Derby ever. So,
Nice. Hey, by the way, it is March Madness. We're going to talk baseball, but first, March Madness, how's your bracket?
oh geez, I'm ashamed to say that I actually missed the deadline to submit a bracket. So I was just so busy and I couldn't get it in, and I'm so mad at myself for that because I've done it every year. So I didn't have one put in this year. So I don't have mine's not busted because I didn't play one.
I mean, I still have the championship game. I got Kentucky, Connecticut, not Kentucky, Connecticut over Purdue, and that's still in play. But you know what I liked about it was the ones and twos all made it to Sweet 16. A bunch of twos are gone now, but good show so far. By the way, how much money do you think Shohei's lost on the March Madness? We'll talk about that in a minute as we talk about MLB because it is Major League Baseball's kickoff this week. It started on earlier in the week with the Dodgers in Japan, but um, the stories. Shohei is the story right now, and not because of his on-field stuff. That off-field stuff, PB. There's more to this than we think, right? Do you agree? I mean, how do you have a guy take $4.5 million out of your account and not detect it at all?
I know. Yeah, there's something going on. I don't know. I mean, until it all gets investigated and comes out, it's hard to really predict what he was thinking and what he was doing, but it doesn't look good, you know.
It doesn't look good at all, man. It does not
I
look at
mean,
all.
look what happened to Pete Rose back in
Yes,
the day. This could be a dagger in his whole career.
I love Tony and Mike. Pardon the interruption, and Tony believes this thing is going to be. Mike doesn't want any part of it, but Tony believes this is going to be a big story. So we'll see. But the other big stories, I think, Jordan Montgomery, who helped the Rangers win the World Series, almost wait the entire preseason before he finally gets signed by the D-backs, who went to the World Series last year. That's a big story, right?
Huge story. I like them again this year too, believe it or not.
And the other one is the Giants. They get last year's Cy. Can you believe the last year's Cy Young Award winner, a former Tampa Bay guy, Blake Snell? He waits till the last week of preseason to sign with the Giants. Which, by the way, I'm not a Blake Snell fan. I've said that before in the past because of his views on my money. But he's going to help the Giants a lot. That division. We'll talk about the divisions momentarily, but that's going to make that division very enticing.
Yeah, that's going to be a very strong when you get the Padres and the Giants and the D-backs, and yeah, it's pretty loaded. And
What about you? What other storylines before we get into some predictions on the divisions and stuff? Anything else that stands out?
no, it's just a lot of guys are starting the season hurt and injured, and I can't make contributions to teams. I think that's a tough one. But looking at the Marlins, I went to the Marlins game last night, and they had a pretty good staff in place, young kids too, that could really help this team. But I feel like they're all injured to start the season, and there's some other teams out there. They got players that just aren't ready to play, and even good guys. Aces got Justin Steele is an ace for the Cubs. He gets hurt with his hamstring first, couple first innings of his
Yep.
play.
Yep.
Who knows how long hamstrings can really linger, especially for a pitcher, right?
Pitcher. Yep.
So, I mean, just stuff like that. It seems like injuries are really gonna affect who ends up in the end on this year.
So PB, we're both Boston guys. We got to talk about the Red Sox for a moment. I mean, they might be slightly better, but this team is not going to contend at all. I mean, they're 500 as of this morning, right? They're 1-1. This may be the best they'll be all year at this point in time. I mean, so John Henry has to sell his team. That's my opinion. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, they need to a whole new.
The Red Sox are the lowest priority in Fenway Sports Group in my mind.
Yeah, yeah, probably right because they have the soccer, they have the racing, they have other stuff that they're.
They own the Penguins for crying out loud. Who have a better chance of winning a title than the Red Sox do in the next I don't know, 5 years, 10 years, who knows, right?
It's disappointing. It's disappointing. And then you get a game like yesterday where they don't even score a run. You know, like this team's offense is not good. Their pitching staff is average at best.
I will tell you this. Up here in Boston, all the critics, the media picks on the staff, the pitcher staff. I believe the pitcher staff might be better than their offense for sure. I mean, other than Devers and maybe Trevor Story if he gets his game back, they don't really have an. And I know they're big on Tristan Cass as the first baseman, but he's going to have a season maybe like the guy did from I'm drawing a blank. You played here for 1 year, but he had 40 home runs last year and hit 196. The guy was a World Series champ for the Cubs, left fielder. I can't see them doing anything. There's no at bats anywhere else. Center field, left field. I mean, there's nothing out there, right?
What do you think about this? The rookie, the kid that they're saying could be a little surprise from rookie of the year, the Rafaela.
Yeah, the center fielder. You know what? I've seen some of his highlights. He's a great. You know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of JBJ, which I love, Jackie Bradley Jr. I know Dan Chauncey would say you're an idiot, but JBJ was a great defensive player. This kid's a great defensive player. Has a little pop in his bat. It seems like he could be a spark. We'll see. I hope he is.
All right.
We'll see. All right, let's make some picks here. AL East. What do you think?
I got the O's. I think O's are one of the strongest teams in the American League actually this year. Really like their pitching staff. I think top to bottom, they're a good team. They're a young team. They got Corbin Burns. That's like a huge acquisition.
That's we should have mentioned that. That's a big off-season story.
Yeah,
yes.
and he came out and won his first game, right? That he pitched.
Yeah.
Kid Grayson Rodriguez. He's only 24 years old. He's going to be someone to watch for this year. So I like this, and then you got young kids too, even like Gunnar Henderson. I love that guy. I think he's just a key kind of play. Reminds me of like Red Sox plays when the Red Sox were doing so good. Like, so I could see them definitely winning the East and then contending in that AL. I think they should make it to the ALCS this year.
I got a surprise for you when we get further into our picks, but I do too. I get the Orioles at number 1. And by the way, I'm not giving up yet on the Yankees. I hate to admit this, but the Yankees are going to be around. They're going to be around. Toronto, I don't know where Toronto's going to go. They should be better than they're going to finish, in my opinion, with the talent they have on that roster offensively. I don't know if they have the pitching. And of course, Tampa Bay is always going to be Tampa Bay, right? As much as I don't want them to win because they don't spend money, they spend more than the Red Sox.
They're going to hang around and be annoying.
They are, yeah. All right. And of course, the Red Sox will be in dead last. If the Red Sox come within 7 games of 500, it'll be a miracle. All right. In the Central, somebody's going to win this. Who do you think's going to win it?
I know it's a weak division. I have a little surprise for you here, but I'm going with the Detroit Tigers.
Oh, you know what? I read some stuff recently about that. That's not a bad pick. I'm going with the Twins. Why do you like the Tigers, though?
There's just guys on that team that I actually drafted for my fantasy team, Riley Green, the center fielder. Yeah, I think he's a good young prospect. He showed me some flashes of brilliance last year. Spencer Torkelson, their first baseman, he's supposed to be a stud. Yep. He didn't really have a good year last year, but he swings a pretty good bat. That guy could jack 40 or some more home runs potentially. They have another kid that's he got hurt. What's his name? I can't think of it right now. But the pitcher too, their number 1 pitcher, Skubal.
Some people have as the Cy Young Award winner this year.
He impressed me last year, and I think he's going to do some good things this year. So I think they got some good pieces, and then they have the weak division. So, you're talking about Twins and Guardians, maybe as other teams that can compete. I don't think the Royals are ready to compete there. So I think the Tigers can do it this year.
I got the Twins by a game. I don't know why. I just do. I think better management, but we'll see. Everybody's talking about the Tigers though, so we'll see. All right, in the West, Rangers won the World Series last year, but they didn't win the division. And I don't think they're going to win the division again this year. I think it's the Astros Derby once again, as much as I hate to say that. But the Astros, I think, are the team to beat, although the Rangers will be right with them. What do you think?
Yep, and I'm right there with you. I got the Astros winning that division. I just top to bottom, both their pitching staff as well as their lineup. One of the best in the league. I mean, you could put that right up there with the Orioles to me in the American League, and almost up there with the likes of the Dodgers and the Braves and stuff like that in the National League. So I got them right there in the ALCS too.
Who do you got for the wild cards?
Wild cards, there's three, right?
Yep.
So that would mean I have the Rays, the Jays, and the Rangers.
Ooh, okay. All right. I got Rangers, I got Jays, and I don't have the Rays. I got the Yankees. As much as
Oh,
I hate to pick New York, I
okay.
think they got the talent. They have a lot of talent. We'll see what happens. Juan
Yeah.
Soto. I got a big prediction
I,
about Juan Soto in a minute.
I was so proud of my not picking the Yankees to make the playoffs last year, and that actually happened. So I'm gonna do it again this
There
year.
you go. I
Again.
mean, it could be, right? It could be. By the way, if they don't make the playoffs this year, Booney's gone, right? He's absolutely gone. He has to be gone.
You got to. There's too much talent there to not make the playoffs.
By the way, if Steinbrenner is like his father, if they're not in first place or even within 5 games of first place to the All-Star break, he could be gone by the All-Star break, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, ALCS. Who do you got then?
So I got the O's and the Astros, the Stros and the O's.
That's what I got.
Oh, yeah.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, Stros and the O's.
All right, let's go out to the NL East. Who do you like there?
I think the Braves all the way. I mean, I think Philly will hang around, give them some games, stay close, but it's the Braves division, in my opinion.
I do as well. I think Chris Sale, by the way, will be the comeback player of the year. Ronald Acuna will threaten for the MVP, but I got a different pick for MVP when we talk about that momentarily. So I get the Braves as well. Who do you get in the Central?
I was going to say, not to mention Spencer Strider. You could have a Cy Young MVP on the same team potentially, right?
Yes, yes.
Central, I have the Cubbies. Going into the Cubbies. Last year I took the Brewers, and I know you did. I think you took the Cards last year, so I got that one with the Brewers. But this year I'm switching over to the Cubs.
By the way, I'm with you on the Cubs. This division in Vegas is the closest in Vegas. All 4 of the 5 teams are within 4 games of each other, according to Vegas.
Oh wow!
So
yeah, Cincy could surprise some people this year too.
Cincy's a big favorite. I've seen Cincy's a pick. I think Sports Illustrated, if I'm not mistaken, picked Cincinnati to win that one. So you're right. I've got the Cubs. I got Reds, and I got Brewers and the Cards right there. Pirates, by the way, are in last, but they're not the worst team of all the division teams are in last. I mean, they got some players on the Pirates. These guys, they're going to be recognized in a couple of years, I think.
Dude, last night I saw O'Neal Cruz, the shortstop. He's 6'7".
6'7" at shortstop.
The
That's
guy
a freak.
He's a freak. He stands next to the second baseman. He looks like a giant. And then, I remember he was on deck circle last night, and I had a perfect view to where I was sitting, and I'm like, man, he's a big dude. And he
imagine him standing next to Altuve. So he slides into second. Altuve's next to him. He stands up. Altuve's like up to his waist.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So last year he got hurt. I drafted him in my fantasy team last year. He got hurt in like the 5th game of the year. He broke his leg sliding into home plate.
Yep.
And he missed the whole season. I was high on him, so I took him again this year. I got a good value for him. I took him down in like the maybe 8th or 9th round. But I like that guy's got serious potential if he can just kind of get his swing going. So
him and Dela Cruz from Cincinnati, they could be the most electric players in the game in the next 3 or 4 years. All right, in the West, speaking of electric, you got the Dodgers. I mean, I'm taking the Dodgers. I don't know about you, but I'm taking the Dodgers with that talent. I mean, we talk about Ohtani, Betts, Freeman right there. 3 first ballot Hall of Famers, probably the way their careers have gone so far. And it's still a pretty solid lineup. Will Smith and a few other guys. I mean, that's a tough lineup.
Yeah, and they picked up Glasnow, who's there.
Yes.
Who instantly goes in as their ace, basically. And then you got friggin' this kid Bobby Miller that pitched he was lights out last night. He had like 11 strikeouts in 6 innings. He got the win. He didn't let up any runs, I don't think. A couple hits, maybe. He's 20.
And they brought in the guy from Japan who was like the Japanese Cy Young Award winner, Yamanato or something like that is his name.
Yeah. So, but keep an eye on Bobby Miller. He's going to be he'll be contending.
By the way, in that division, last year the talk was the Padres and the money they spent. They've unloaded a couple of those guys. Their owner passed away. Who's the guy spent all the money. Do the Padres? They have a lot of talent. Do they make any effort to come close to the Dodgers in your mind?
I don't think so. I don't even have them making the playoffs this year.
Ooh,
yeah, I feel like to me like my Yankees prediction from last year, like lots of talent, lots of money, but didn't make the playoffs. I think that's the Padres this year.
So, and by the way, we didn't even mention it yet. The Diamondbacks went to the World Series out of that division.
Yeah, Yeah,
So who's your wild cards?
so for my wild cards there, I got the Phils, the um the D-backs, and the Brewers.
Okay, all right.
That Brewers might be replaced by the Giants or Padres. I could see three teams maybe coming out of the West because, as we mentioned, they're a pretty strong division. But I'm going to go with the Brew Crew for now.
I'm with you with the Phillies. I got the Phils. I got the D-backs. I think you won the World. You went to the World Series last year, and they're not even at their peak yet. Supposedly they peaked a year early by getting the World Series, so we'll see. And then I gotta believe that lineup with the Padres. Come on, Xander, man, bring this team to the playoffs. I got the Padres going as a wild card.
All right, that's a good pick. I would totally replace my Brewers with Padres and feel fine about it. So I like that pick.
Who do you like for the NLCS?
I mean, it's a boring, obvious pick, but the Dodgers and the Braves.
It has to be. It's a complete disappointment if it's not those two teams. Don't you think so?
Yeah, and last year it wasn't, right? And they got knocked down. That was kind of a disappointment because we were hoping for that same thing last year because they're the two best teams, maybe in all of baseball, let alone the National League.
All right, throw it out there. World Series is.
Let's go. Let's go. Man, I want the Braves to be there so bad. It's hard to pick against the Dodgers. Let's go Braves, Orioles.
Oh, I got Dodgers Orioles.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Which is a repeat. I believe this is a repeat of 71 or 72, I think. So we'll see.
Okay. I really that was the Orioles team with like Jim Palmer and Mike Cuellar and
oh yeah, Brooks Robinson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I had to bet, I'd probably pick the Dodgers in that series against the Braves, but I'm kind of going with my heart more. I like the Braves.
Well, the Dodgers have not. By the way, Dave Roberts his coaching career is on the line. He has not got out of the divisional series the last 2 years, right?
Right.
He hasn't even made it to the CS.
With
So
that money,
with that money spent, the big worrisome part is what happens with Shohei. If Shohei gets caught in a gambling thing and gets suspended for the year, that team is going to be in disarray. So hopefully that doesn't happen. We'll see. All right, real quick, we'll finish up. MVP AL. Who do you got?
oh man. I'm just gonna go out on a limb. Gunnar Henderson.
Oh, I'm going to shock you. I can't even believe wearing this shirt, this hat. I'm going to say this. I got Juan Soto of the Yankees.
Okay. All right.
NL MVP. Who do you got?
Acuna Jr.
You know what? I was this close to doing that, but a guy that's playing shortstop for the first time in his professional career, if he has a good year playing shortstop and he keeps up his offensive credentials, none of the Mookie Betts will win the MVP in the NL. That's my opinion.
I like that pick.
All right, Cy Young. Who do you like there?
Spencer Strider.
Cy for the NL. Who do you like for the AL? I got him on the NL as well.
Oh, you do? For the AL, I will take geez. I don't even, I wasn't even I
Well,
can't
you
even
mentioned the guy from the Tigers.
Scooble. Yeah, let's go with Scooble. Let me go with
There you
Scooble.
go. All right.
I think he's gonna have a great year. Yeah.
I'm going with a guy who the Orioles brought in free agency, came from the Brewers. I'm going to go with Corbin Burns, a former Cy Young Award winner in the National League. He wins in the AL to bring the Orioles to the World Series.
Like that. Wait, I'm going to change mine. I'm going to go with this other guy I drafted in my fantasy team that I love. I'm going with Pablo Lopez for the Twins.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? If he wins the Cy Young, your Detroit Tigers do not win the division. It's the Twins.
Maybe, might be, but I'm gonna hedge my bets here, and I'm gonna go with Pablo Lopez to win the Cy Young.
Okay, all right, man. There's our baseball predictions. There we go. Preview. Off to the Derby. Have fun today.
All right, appreciate it, man.
All right, talk to you.